a world where instant gratification and external distractions seem to rule our lives, the wisdom of ancient philosophers might offer a much-needed perspective on how to regain control over ourselves. One such philosopher whose ideas have shaped Western thought for centuries is Plato. His teachings go beyond mere intellectual musings. They provide timeless insights into the art of self-control and the development of inner power. Plato believed that true strength doesn't come from physical might, but from the mastery of the mind and the control of our impulses. In his works, he delved into the importance of self-discipline, emphasizing that a well-governed soul is the foundation of a flourishing life. What if we told you that by understanding and applying Plato's insights, you could tap into a deeper, more powerful version of yourself? A version of yourself that is grounded, resilient, and able to navigate life with wisdom and strength. Today, we're diving into Plato's timeless teachings on self-control and inner power. So buckle up, because this ancient wisdom is about to transform the way you approach your own personal growth. The philosophy of self-control. Plato's views on self-control are not just philosophical abstractions, they are practical principles that can be applied to everyday life. According to him, a person's soul is made up of three parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. These parts of the soul represent different aspects of our being. Reason is our logical, rational mind, spirit represents our emotions and willpower, and appetite refers to our desires and physical needs. Plato believed that a balanced soul, in which reason governs the spirit and appetite, leads to true harmony. When we let our desires and impulses rule our lives, we fall into disorder. On the other hand, when we allow reason to guide us, we become masters of ourselves, able to make decisions that serve our higher purpose and well-being. This concept of a well-balanced soul is central to Plato's philosophy of self-control. Self-control, for Plato, isn't about suppressing our desires, it's about channeling them and ensuring that they don't override our rational judgment. It's about learning to choose what's best for us in the long run, even if that means resisting short-term pleasures or immediate impulses. Self-mastery and the role of reason. Plato's idea of self-control is intricately linked to his belief in the power of reason. In his work, The Republic, Plato introduces the concept of the philosopher king, an ideal ruler who possesses wisdom, rationality, and self-discipline. This philosopher king is the embodiment of reason, using intellect and wisdom to govern both himself and his kingdom. The lesson here is clear: to be a ruler of your own life, you must cultivate your capacity for reason. Self-control begins with the ability to think clearly, to reflect on your actions, and to make choices that align with your long-term goals and values. Reason allows you to see past temporary distractions and focus on what truly matters. Think of it like this: when you take the time to pause and reflect before reacting to a situation, you exercise your power of reason. This allows you to respond from a place of calm and thoughtfulness, rather than being controlled by impulsive desires or emotions. It's the first step toward mastering yourself and building your inner power, the role of spirit and willpower. While reason is the guiding force, Plato also emphasized the importance of spirit or willpower in cultivating self-control. Spirit, in this context, refers to your inner drive, your courage, and your ability to stand firm in the face of challenges. When we exercise self-control, it's not just about thinking through decisions rationally, it's also about having the willpower to follow through. This is where spirit comes into play. It's the strength of character that enables you to persevere through difficulties, to resist temptations, and to stay focused on your goals, even when the path is hard. Plato recognized that this kind of inner strength doesn't come naturally to everyone. It requires practice, persistence, and the willingness to confront our weaknesses. But the more we cultivate our spirit, the stronger we become in our ability to control our impulses and stay true to our values. Desire and appetite, finding balance. On the flip side of reason and spirit is the third part of the soul, appetite. Plato acknowledged that humans are driven by desires, whether they be for food, pleasure, wealth, or status. These desires are natural, but when left unchecked, they can lead us into excess and imbalance. One of Plato's central teachings is the idea that we must not allow our appetites to dominate us. Instead, we must practice moderation and balance. This doesn't mean completely denying ourselves of what we want. It means learning to control our desires so that they don't control us. For example, consider how often we give in to the desire for instant gratification. We might indulge in unhealthy habits, overeat, or pursue fleeting pleasures because it feels good in the moment. But as Plato would argue, such behavior undermines our capacity for true happiness and inner power. By practicing moderation and self-discipline, we can enjoy life's pleasures without allowing them to derail us. Plato's philosophy teaches us that when we cultivate a strong sense of self-control, we no longer live at the mercy of our desires. Instead, we reclaim our personal power and make choices that serve our long-term well-being. The importance of education and philosophy in self-control. Plato believed that self-control was not something that could be accomplished solely through the use of one's own willpower. In addition to this, it was the result of education, philosophical inquiry, and the search for wisdom. He was of the opinion that learning philosophy and engaging in critical thought would help us improve our capacity for self-control to a greater extent. The study of philosophy encourages us to contemplate our acts, to think about the repercussions of our actions, and to make choices that are in accordance with our highest ideals. In this way, education is an essential component in the process of cultivating one's own inner power. The development of the mental tools that are necessary for us to comprehend our own desires, feelings, and behaviors is facilitated by this. In order to be more equipped to exercise self-discipline and to manage the problems that life presents with wisdom, the more knowledge we learn, the better equipped we are. Within the context of the modern world, this could imply anything from engaging in mindfulness techniques to reading philosophical texts. The idea is to always be on the lookout for opportunities for growth and comprehension so that we may make judgments that are both informed and conscious. By doing so, we give ourselves the ability to live a life that is truly controlled by ourselves. Inner power and true happiness. In the end, Plato was of the opinion that the road to a more profound form of happiness, one that is not associated with external circumstances but rather with the mastery of one's own self, was to exercise self-control. According to him, we are able to reach genuine harmony and inner serenity when we live our lives in accordance with our intellectual, spiritual, and appetitive natures. As a result, exercising self-control is not limited to merely suppressing urges, rather, it involves bringing ourselves into alignment with our best potential. We are able to unlock a deeper sense of power when we are able to manage our impulses, regulate our emotions, and make good judgments. This enables us to live our lives in a genuine manner and follow our biggest objectives without being swayed by transitory cravings. In conclusion, it is important to keep in mind that the journey toward achieving inner power and self-control is not a destination but rather a journey. Plato's observations provide us with a timeless pattern for cultivating the strength to control our desires, live with wisdom, and make the most of our genuine potential. You will be able to start gaining control of your mind, body, and soul if you incorporate these principles into your life. If you found these insights valuable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more philosophy and wisdom on how to live a more empowered, purposeful life. Like this video and leave a comment below with your thoughts on self-control and how it impacts your life. Let's continue this journey together, cultivating inner strength and mastering the art of living with purpose.